Before you get started in making music, it's good to check the preferences, and these can be found up here under Live, Preferences. Or a quicker way to get to it, as you probably will be going in there fairly often to tweak things, is Command or Control and comma. What we'll do is that there's loads of options here, as you can see, and we'll just go through the most commonly used ones. A lot of it you'll never need to look at or change or even think about. So first of all, in the Look and Feel section, Zoom Display I have just at the standard 100%. As you increase this, you can see all the text gets bigger and clearer, and it goes all the way out to 50%. So if you need a little bit more screen space, a few percent here and there can really help. Let's if you press the delete key, that just takes it back to its default value. And the other one I want to look on here is just a aesthetic thing. See, we've got different built-in skin types here, so let's choose this one, and it just changes the colour scheme. That's pretty funky, I like that one. I suppose that one could be good for late at night, stop a bit of glare on the old eyes. But let's put it back to default for now. This is an important section, the audio section. You want to choose your audio output device. You see, I have my microphone at the moment is also doubling as my sound card. So this is where you would choose your sound card, or the built-in one if you don't have one yet. And the audio input device is where you're going to choose the source of your audio recording. Another important section here is the latency section. So the buffer size relates to how much lag time you're going to get when recording instruments into Ableton. So the higher the buffer size, the longer the lag time. So it's a bit of experimentation here. You'll generally go for the middle one, go for 256, and if you don't have any audio crackles when you start to do a bit more CPU intensive work, then you should be absolutely fine, and you'll never notice this very low latency you However, if your computer starts to struggle on playback, you get audio glitches and things, just increase your buffer size, and you might need to go between this higher buffer size when you're listening back to things, and when you want to record stuff in, you want a lower latency. But most of the time you should be okay on 256 or 512 for both instances. It's only when you really start to layer audio effects after audio effect and lots of instruments and high demanding third-party plugins. Next one down, MIDI. This is where you're going to select your control surface if you have one. Most of the common brands are listed here. So it's simply a case of choosing your control surface, and then I haven't got one plugged in right now, so I'm not getting the option, but you'll have the input and output section to choose, so that Ableton recognises your device and you're able to map features of the keyboard to controls on Ableton. File and folder. The one at the top here I think is pretty useful. Save current set as default. So I've done a few videos in the past where I've shown templates and settings that I know I'm going to use very often. And rather than every time I start a new song have to create those settings, I do it once and then I save that template as a default. So every time I open Live, I'm ready to go with a template that's got my preferred settings here and there. Coming down to the plugin sources, this is where you'll choose which plugins are going to be shown in your folder section. Every time you purchase and then install a new plugin, a new audio effect or instrument for example, it's worth pressing this rescan button just to make sure that Live goes through the files and locates it for you and puts it in the plugin browser. There's quite a few more options in these other tabs here, but really for beginners you don't even need to be worrying about what's in there. Some of them are self-explanatory, but you really won't need to worry yourself with them until you're getting into a much more advanced user state. It's a case of 90% of the time you won't even need to go there.